Welcome to the Catalyst Life Coaching Podcast with John Kim and Noelle Cordeaux. If you're inspired to begin your own life coaching practice or just want to learn a little bit more about what it's all about, visit JRNI.co. That's JRNI.co for more information. Your adventure awaits.
All right, guys, what's up? Today we're going to talk about goal setting and mantras.
Yeah,
right.
And what goes on in your head, like that little hamster wheel of self-doubt, self-talk, the whole combo, the whole thing.
Which is really important. I hear we have about 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of those thoughts are the thoughts that we had yesterday. So we're just basically in this weird loop of thinking the same thing, and if we don't make an effort to change our conversations that we have with ourselves, we're just going in circles.
Yeah.
Right. And most of us, our thoughts are what? They're negative. They're not. No one has. Our default isn't to just think of amazing, positive, I can do anything things. They're usually tied to our insecurities and the bad stuff that's happened. Right. A lot of residue.
Yeah. So one of the ways to combat those negative thoughts, one of the ways to gain control over your thoughts and emotions is to stop for a second whenever you start to experience frenzy or panic or anxiety or guilt or shame, and ask yourself, are my thoughts right now housed in the past, the present, or the future?
Oh, interesting.
Because a lot of times...
So you actually categorize.
You categorize them because a lot of times the pain response, the guilt response, the shame response, fear response, frenzy, anxiety is housed either in the past or the future.
Yeah, we live in time machines.
Because if you're grounded, truly grounded in the present, you're focusing on the task at hand. And if you're focused on either the past or the future, there's not really anything that you can do about anything.
Right.
It's the past or the future. It's either over or hasn't happened yet. So it's a really nice point to be aware of.
So what is your mantra? What is a mantra that works for you?
Well,
and real quick, guys, if you're listening or watching, give us your feedback. And as I asked Noelle this, tell us what your mantra is and what works for you so we can keep this a conversation.
Absolutely.
Right.
So let's back up a little bit. We're life coaches at JRNI.
Yep.
We run our Catalyst Life Coaching Intentions. So what we're doing right now is giving you guys life coaching tips, tools, and techniques that you can both use for yourself and that you can also bring to your clients.
JRNI is JRNI.co.
JRNI.co.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with us, tickets are on sale for the last month for our awesome event in the beautiful mountains of Asheville, North Carolina in early April.
Yes,
we
I'm
can't
excited.
wait to see everybody. Real hugs are the best things ever.
It's going to be intimate, and it's going to be in a gorgeous setting, and it's going to be it's going to be casual too, so it'll be super fun.
Totally.
Yeah.
Hanging out with friends around a campfire, getting some good green in your eyes,
Right.
Clear skies. It'll be fun. So the task at hand today is we're talking about how to use mantras in order to quiet that voice, in order to stop beating yourself up, in order to bring it back to center, to bring it back to present, versus living in the past or the future. So what is a mantra and why does it work? A mantra is a very simple phrase that lays out your intention. Quite simply. And why is that important? It's important because it's so easy to get so scattered. And one of the number one things that derails goal accomplishment is having too many things to do at once and not focusing and letting your mind go to the past and letting your mind go to the future and not actually staying present and doing what it is that you have to do.
Yes, so let's talk about a few mantras. Someone in here says, my mantra is I am safe and I have all the answers within me or within my reach, which I think is powerful.
Oh, I love that.
That's a great,
That's phenomenal.
I am safe is huge because most people do not feel safe in this world.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. And it can be such a mirage, when I work with clients and they're having a really bad day, I try to bring them to a place of gratitude with safety and say, hey, do you have a safe place to sleep at night? Do you have access to food and water? Do you have food that you can eat? And if the answer to all of those questions are yes, then you exist in relative safety.
But also safety, as in, are you safe emotionally with the friends? Are you safe to share your feelings with your intimate partner?
Yeah.
Do you feel safe with your boss?
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff too, right?
All of that stuff. And a lot of that stuff, you have to actively work on, but it's not really within your control, how other people create an environment.
Well, you can control who you decide to surround yourself with.
It's true.
Right.
It's true. Maybe not so much your boss. Yeah. I mean,
Well, as far as how much you want to interact or how you can change and adjust.
or how you set up boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right, let's stick with
Okay,
mantras.
So, Noelle, what's your mantra? What's your mantra? And, they could change every week, but what's a mantra for you this week?
So I use different mantras. Starting out for the new year, my mantra was all I have to do is tend to my health and do my job. And anything that falls outside of those two categories, I really don't need to give my energy to because I am so singularly focused right now. So that really helps me orient myself in the world when I'm starting to feel frenzy, when I'm starting to feel anxiety.
Right.
All I have to do is tend to my health and my job.
I love this idea of simplifying just in general. I think that there's way too much noise in the world, and I think there's way too much clutter in between our ears. And it's with everything. So, simplifying the two things you need to do, but also like go into your closet, throw away all the shit that you never wear, simplify, have like 2 nice pair of pants that you actually wear and 3 t-shirts, and just like this idea of just simplifying everything, food, friends, all of that. I think that it realigns you, it reboots you, it makes you feel lighter. So I love the word simplifying, and that's relates to Noelle's mantra. For me this week, my mantra has been keep it real. And if I feel like because there's things happening, Noelle and I are very busy and lots of stuff happening to us and meetings and opportunities. I could feel the old tug, the old John Kim, not keeping it real. And that scares me, and it's not who I want to be. So if I remind myself to just keep it real and be me, it makes me swim toward my island. If I don't, I'm going sideways, and I know that then I'm pulling from my pseudo self, as I say, and then I'm not at my potential, and I'm not going where I'm supposed to go. And I start to feel gross.
Yeah, and that internal feeling, what John's describing, that feeling of feeling gross, is in coaching terms what we call a somatic response. And it's your soma is your body, and getting in touch with your body and how your body responds to stress, authenticity, different people or feelings that may be toxic. You notice it maybe in your throat, in your stomach, the back of your neck, your shoulders. Where do you feel it in your body when you feel quote unquote gross?
I end up breathing from my chest.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I'm doing
So
this,
like short,
and I'm
shallow.
not, yeah, and I'm reacting a lot, and I'm very impatient. And I'm just running around with my head cut off.
Okay.
Right.
So
I'm not living. I'm just a walking reaction.
Well, that's really good stuff to know. So if I was coaching John as my client, I'd say, okay, so what are you going to do when you start to experience those tells?
Go back to my breath.
Go back to your breath.
Feel it. Instead of here, let it go into my diaphragm, deep breathing. And then I kind of can feel whole again and readjust. And then my mantra, am I keeping it real? In front of these people, in this meeting, on this Facebook Live, or am I pulling from a place where I'm being false or seeking something,
I have a challenge for you.
Yes.
I want you to go deeper with your mantra and turn it, instead of a question, into a positive, affirmative statement. Yeah.
Keep your shit real. I mean, I don't know.
Or for yourself.
Right.
Like, I will keep my shit real.
Oh, I will. Okay, right. I will keep my shit real.
Does that feel authentic to you?
Yeah, I will keep my shit real, whether it's my words or my videos or any kind of engagement with people. I will keep my shit real.
I will keep my shit real. I like it. John and I came up with another mantra for each other yesterday because, as he said, things have been just pretty much nuts recently. So yesterday, I forgot what day it was. I missed a meeting. I sent out an email to a major organization with the wrong dates in it, and I sent out another email with like a stupid typo. And I started beating myself up like automatically because that's unacceptable for me. Even though it's fucking fine, whatever. But the mantra that we came up with for ourselves is the word squirrel. Because the reason that I got into that state, the reason that John was experiencing like chest breathing and shortness of breath is because there's been so much stuff going on, and we both needed a code word to come back to center, focus on what we're doing, remember that life coaching is fun. We're building a company that we want to work in with people that we adore, and that there's no reason to experience all of this negativity, that we can just say squirrel and kind of like bring it back.
Brianna has a mantra. She says, I'm capable of and willing to receive all of the experiences today has to offer me.
Ooh, I love that.
I like that whole idea that the day has to offer you something.
Yeah, I agree. That's beautiful. I love it. Does anybody else have mantras or questions about mantras? Please type them in for us.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, but let us know. And the other piece of this whole thing, and Noelle mentioned it, is something we all do, is beating ourselves up if we don't accomplish our goals, right? This idea of internalizing, pointing the gun to yourself. So this is also a negative pattern that can gray you out, and that can turn into a wall or a block for you to then become afraid to go out and do stuff. You got to stop beating yourself up if you don't accomplish what you set out to accomplish, right? So how do we do that? First, we have to be aware that we're doing it.
Well, I think checking in and saying, are my thoughts in the past, present, or future is super helpful. And then the other thing to ask yourself is, will this matter in 1 year from now? And that's a really good check-in. Will whatever it is that's like acutely bugging me right now, so let's take, for example, the fact that I completely blanked on a meeting, like just didn't show.
Sure.
Will that matter in 1 year from now?
Of course it will. I'm just kidding.
No, it's not going to matter at all.
It's going to change your whole life.
No, 100% not. That will not matter 1 year from now.
1 week from now.
1 week from now, it won't matter. So I have a choice in this moment, right? I can stew. I can beat myself up. I can, mention it to a bunch of people like I'm doing right now. Or I can just say, oh, well, that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm now in the present. What does this day have to offer me? Thank you, Brianna. I love that.
Yes. I like this idea of pulling back, which is kind of the same. So I think we fall into the trenches very fast. Just to pull back, look at your whole story. And the things that matter, that are that are life or death to you now, or the feeling that the sky is falling, all of that will dissolve if you see that the whole picture, and that there's so many more chapters and how far you've come. I once in a while will pull back and try to see my entire story instead of just this chapter that I'm in now.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
And Noelle, as a CEO, she does that with the company, like seeing the big picture. Then all the things that happen day to day aren't magnified.
But I'm human. I'm so human. And so, like I can take the micro things, like my own fitness journey, right? So I've been working really hard at upping my strength. And you've been consistent. And I've been consistent.
Yes, and I'm proud of you. She's boxing now.
I'm boxing. Watch out, world.
Yeah.
So I love boxing. And if I miss a workout, or I'm too tired, or my day has gone completely off the rails because I do handle a lot of stuff, I'll beat myself up because I haven't taken that one small step in this one day.
Right.
So if I bring it back to, will this matter a year from now? No. Will my consistency over time be the thing that propels me forward? Yes, 100%. Will that one workout impact the whole enchilada? No, absolutely not. Have I been consistent? Yeah. So as John's saying, look at your whole story.
Yes. All right, guys, we're going to recap real quick.
Okay, so we're talking about setting mantras for goal accomplishment. And one of the reasons that that's important, one of the reasons why people have a hard time accomplishing goals, is because they focus on too many different things at once, and they don't drop it down to a singular focus, a singular intention. So we're saying that you can harness a couple of different techniques, coaching techniques in this regard. Number one, when you set a mantra and you repeat it to yourself, you're engaging in biofeedback. You're setting up a singular, repetitive structure in your brain to deepen the grooves that help you adhere to habit formation.
Right.
So repeating a mantra to yourself really cements what it is that you want to do. And then it also simplifies your intention so that you're not focusing on too many different things at once. And then the other piece of it is not beating yourself up when you haven't taken the step that you wanted to take or thought you were going to take or did the thing.
Right.
So do you have feedback on not beating yourself up to recap?
Being aware that you're doing it, centering yourself. Maybe for me, it's the thing about breath, and then knowing that you have to stop this pattern, or else it will continue to drown you.
Yes. And then on my end, it's, will this matter in 1 year from now?
Oh, right. Pull back. And are your thoughts in the past, present, or future? Yes, that's a really big one.
calm
File your
anxiety.
thoughts and take control of them. All right, guys, be well. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thanks for listening to the Catalyst Life Coaching Podcast, brought to you by JRNI. If you'd like to learn more about what you've heard on today's show, visit JRNI.co. That's JRNI.co. And request more information about the Catalyst Life Coaching Intensive, or just keep in touch.